Hello guys, this is Exhaust here, and today we're reading The Amazing Human Body. Now, with that out of the way, get into it. The Amazing Human Body by Igloo Books. Introduction. The human body is an amazing piece of natural complex technology, made up of billions of tiny building blocks, called cells. All of these cells do different jobs. Cells of the same type group together to form tissue cells. Cells and tissues are organized into larger body parts called organs. And these organs form part of the essential systems that run the body. All of these cells, tissues, organs, and systems are held together with an internal frame called the skeleton. The skeleton holds the body up and gives strength and shape. It also protects internal organs and allows us to move. Finally, we have muscles and skin, which cover the skeleton and hold everything together. Every second of every day, the body is doing incredible things of which we are not even aware. These processes keep us alive, help us fight diseases, and allow us to walk, talk, and enjoy the world around us. If you take just 5 minutes to think of all the things you do in a day, from blinking your eyes to doing your homework, realize how truly incredible the body is. The body comes in many different shapes and sizes. Humans come with different skin color, hair color, and eye color, as well as entirely different shaped features such as nose, mouth, and ears. Some people are tall while others are short, but even though there's a great range of differences in our appearances, all of our bodies contain the same parts. We all have 206 bones, 600 muscles, and 22 internal organs. There is still so much left to discover about the more complicated areas of the body. The human brain is one of the most complex organs in our planet. There are so many neurons in the brain as there are stars in the Milky Way galaxy. So it is no surprise that despite recent advances of the science of the brain, we still find ourselves with so many unanswered questions about how the brain works. It's also true that there is still so much to discover about cells, DNA, and genes, and how to beat some of the diseases our bodies can catch. We will help you to find out what we, as humans, already know. In this book, we will answer some of the questions you might have about the human body. What is inside the body? How does it work? We will answer these questions and many more. We'll look at the large range of structures within the human body, and we'll give you pictures and details about how each part works. You'll also uncover many myths and discover some amazing facts about the human body. Skull. One of the most important and complex parts of the human skeleton is the skull. The skull is very important as it provides armored protection to one of the most vital human organs, the brain. However, only the upper dome-shaped part of the skull protects the brain. The lower part creates a background structure which gives each human their facial features. Facial features are not biologically important. They do play an important role with our social environment. Similar features such as 2 eyes, 1 nose, and 1 mouth place in roughly the same area on the face. Some help humans to identify each other as the same species. Frontal bone, known as the forehead. Nasal cavity has no bones and contains the nose. Eye sockets, where the eyes swivel around to see. Brain box or cranium. contains 8 bones, teeth, fixed with the jawbone and set in both upper and lower jaws. There are more than there's more than 20 different bones that make up the skull. The brain box contains 8 separate bones, and there are 13 bones forming the front of the skull. And there are 2 separate parts to the upper jawbone, and 1 part to the lower jaw. The lower jaw works just like the hinges on a door, allowing it to move up and down as we open our mouth. The lower jaw is the only skull bone that can move, bringing the dead back to life. The lower part of the skull plays such an important part in the basis of facial features that modern technology allows scientists to work out what a person's face would have any look like, just like analyzing the skull and facial bones. This process is called the facial reconstruction and is employed in many fields, including forensic science, and archaeology. Tombstones. Many New England graveyards, the skull can be seen on many tombstones, as shown. Sometimes it is used with a pair of angel wings, as in this picture, symbolizing flying away from mortality. The skull has appeared in many films and plays, perhaps most famously for the part played in Hamlet by William Shakespeare. The skull belongs to Yorick, a court jester whose skull is dug up by a gravedigger. When Hamlet sees the skull, he makes a famous speech about the events of death. Alas, poor Yorick, I knew him, for he told a fellow of infinite jest, of the most excellent fancy. He hath borrowed me on his back 1,000 times, and now how adored my imagination it is. My gorge rises at it, where hung by his lips I know not how to oft. Where would your gibes now, your gambols, your songs, your flashes or merriment that were wont to set the table on a bar? Ew. Most modern doctors no longer practice hand-paring as a cure for cancer diseases. Hand-paring is the act of drilling or scraping a hole into the human head through the skull. Evidence has been found that this procedure has been carried out since the Stone Age and has continued as a form of treatment ever since, making hand-paring trepanning the oldest surgical procedure supported by archaeological evidence. Believe it or not, trepanning is still carried out today for certain brain injuries. But rather than using old knives like they did in Stone Age, they now have diamond-coated drills to make the process quicker and provide a cleaner cut. Mouth. The mouth is a wonderful, fully designed machine. Not only is one of the key parts of the digestive system, it also helps us to communicate. The mouth is lined up with mucous membranes which protect the inside and keep the mouth moist. Why does the mouth water? The mouth waters due to slimy liquid called saliva. Prepares the salivary glands in the walls and floor of the mouth secrete saliva to moisten the mouth. Which makes it easier to chew and swallow food when we eat. Saliva contains a digestive enzyme that helps to break down carbohydrates, which are found in pasta and bread, for example, and makes food easier to digest. Did you know humans produce about 10,000 gallons of saliva in an average lifetime? Did you know an average person in the West eats 50 tons of food and drinks 11,000 gallons of liquid during their life? It takes food 7 seconds to go from the mouth to the stomach via the esophagus. Why do we have lips? Lips perform many tasks, such as helping to eat food, positioning food in the mouth, chewing, and speaking. The lips are made up of muscle, which allow mobility. They are covered with skin on the outside with slippery mucous membranes on the inside. The reddish tint of the lips comes from blood vessels lying just under the surface. This is why the lips can bleed so easily if you hurt them. Did you know licking your lips makes them drier? When the lips get dry, licking them may make them feel better in the short term, but it doesn't last long. Exposure to water actually takes away moisture from the lips when the saliva evaporates. Just like repeatedly washing your hands dries out your skin. Lip balm is much more effective. What are tonsils? Tonsils are two balls of lymphatic tissue found in the back of the mouth. The job is to help fight germs that come in through the mouth and nose before they cause infections in the rest of the body. Fun fact: people whose mouth has a narrow roof are more likely to snore. This is because they have less oxygen going through the nose. Tongue. The tongue is an amazing muscle that is linked to the sense of taste. Although our sense of taste doesn't keep us alive. Just imagine how boring life would be if we couldn't taste things. The tongue also helps us to speak and digest food. How we taste. Saliva in the mouth helps to dissolve food. The food then washes over the surface of the tongue, which is covered in taste buds. The tongue has over 10,000 taste buds, which help us to detect the 5 basic tastes in food. Did you guess it? It's sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and savory. Try this at home. Try this experiment at home with a friend. Take in turns to close your eyes and feed each other with different types of food. Can you figure out what you're eating by taste alone? You know, smoking cigarettes deadens your taste buds. There's also evidence to prove nicotine found in cigarettes suppresses nerve activity in areas of the brain associated with taste, speaking, and the tongue. And also, do not smoke. Speaking and the tongue. Tongue has other functions as well as helping us to taste. It is helping us to speak. Muscles in the back of the tongue help to make sounds, such as the letters R, K, and G. Next time you are speaking, concentrate on the movements of your tongue makes. Can you feel how it moves against the top of your mouth to create the sounds? Fun fact: the hardest tongue twister in the English language, according to the Guinness World Records, is the 66666. Sick. Digestion and the tongue. The tongue helps to digest our food once saliva is all ground up, mixed with saliva and thoroughly taste. The tongue helps to push food into the esophagus. which is the pipe that leads from the throat to the stomach. You. Saying, has the cat got your tongue? Came from Assyria over 2,500 years ago. Criminals would have their tongues cut out and fed to the king's cat. Did you know women have shorter tongues than men? Mythbuster. Some people believe that being able to roll your tongue into a tube is a genetic trait. However, recent studies have shown it isn't genetic at all. Teeth. Teeth help to bite and chew food. Just imagine how difficult it would be to eat an apple without them. First teeth start to appear in babies between 6 and 12 months. These teeth are called milk teeth, and most children will have 20 teeth by the age of 3. At the age of 5 or 6, the first teeth start to fall out and make way for the larger adult teeth. By the age of 14, most people have a set of 28 adult teeth. Between the ages of 17 and 21, the final 4 teeth called wisdom teeth appear. Although not everyone gets these. How cool! Tooth fact. The outside of the tooth is made of enamel, which is the toughest substance in our body. Enamel doesn't contain any living cells, so it cannot be repaired if damaged. This is why it's so important to look after your teeth. So brush your teeth. How do teeth stay in? Teeth are held by long roots. These roots are surrounded by a kind of cement that holds them firmly placed within our jaws. Tooth care. Teeth can decay if they're not looked after properly. Bacteria from food can get stuck between teeth and turn into something called plaque. Eats away at the tooth enamel. Brushing your teeth twice a day and regular visits to the dentist help to keep your teeth healthy. Brush your teeth. What is inside teeth? Inside our teeth there are a lot of nerves and blood vessels. This is why we get toothache and can feel hot and cold if these nerves become exposed. Did you know? No two people have the same set of teeth, like your fingerprints. Your teeth are unique. Forensic dentists are sometimes used to examine teeth for clues to somebody's identity. No other forms of identification are possible. Eyes. Sight is the human body's main sense. Although we can function without sight, we rely on our eyes to learn about our surroundings. From the moment we wake up until we go asleep. At night, our eyes are in constant use. We use our eyes for almost every activity we can do, from writing, reading, watching TV, to crossing the road. The list is endless. The eyes help to determine shapes, colors, movement, and much more. Around 2/3 of the information the brain receives comes from the eyes. This information travels along the optic nerve and goes to the brain, and then the information is processed by the brain, which helps us to make decisions. For example, if you see a bull flying towards you, you'll move out the way quickly. Did I have coffee? Did you know eyes are made up of watery jelly and are very fragile? They need to be well protected. Luckily, our bodies have given us some protection. The skull is made of bone, which protects the brain, and the back of the eye, most of the eye is encased in the eye socket and has extra protection of layers of fat. Eyebrows prevent sweat from dripping into the eyes, while the eyelids and eyelashes help stop dust and dirt going into the eyes. Incredible. The iris, the colored part of the eye, is a unique fingerprint. Some airports have high-tech eye scanners as a way of identifying people quickly. Mythbuster. Sitting too close to the TV is bad for the eyes. Famous phrase from parents, but it isn't true. There is no evidence to suggest that sitting close to a television will damage your eyes. How do eyes stay in? 6 muscles firmly attach each eye to the skull. These are called the medial and lateral rectus, the superior and inferior oblique, and then the superior and inferior brachialis muscles. Why do we cry? Tear ducts are small glands inside the upper eyelid. They produce a salty liquid that forms tears. Tears lubricate and protect our eyes from dust and other particles and help keep them clean. Facial tears. These protect the eye and keep it moist. Reflex tears. These flush out the eye when it becomes irritated. Emotional tears. These flow in response to sadness, distress, or physical pain. Studies have shown crying can be good for you. It relieves tension by balancing the body's stress level. What does the pupil do? Pupil is a black part in the middle of the eye. It is an opening that controls how much light enters the eye. The pupil gets smaller in bright light to protect the nerve cells and larger in darkness to let more light so you can see. Did you know the pupil gets bigger if you see something you like? How your eyes work. Eyes work in a similar ways to the lens in the camera. Like a camera, light passes through the pupil, the lens of an eye, and is recorded onto the back of the eye, the retina. The image is upside down, and the cells in the eye pass messages down the optic nerve to the brain. The brain then translates the image, flips it back the right way around, and processes the information about the image. And that is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Later.